to rate the rates.
Rate the rates.
Yeah,
so here we go. Another beautiful month has passed, and the rates have gone up. They've gone up. So,
yeah, they have.
Let's talk about. We had the little black rain cloud that was inflation and what that all meant, that rates were going to go up. And now we've kind of compounded it. So personally, I speak for myself, all my heart is in Ukraine now with all the people there going through their struggles. And that the conflict there has actually kind of exacerbated things.
It definitely has, without a doubt.
It's with heavy heart and mind that, rates are going to continue to move up with now the new sanctions being put in place on Russia and oil leading the charge, as all of us have seen last week. The price at the pump has skyrocketed, just gone through the roof. So the rates are going to continue an upward trajectory. It's going to be very telling what the Federal Reserve does next week when they get together. March was their launch point. So we'll see how aggressive the Federal Reserve is as far as what rate movements they come up with next week. But I would say at this point, we're going to continue on an upward trend into the low fours. And I think the 2022 ceiling is going to be somewhere around 4.5, 4.625. So is that a big number, right? I just want to contextualize this really quick. Right now, we've just returned to pre-pandemic levels. If we go back to February of 2019, before everything happened in the beginning of March of 2019, we were right there in the low fours, low to mid fours, depending on your total scenario. So look at the Freddie Mac mortgage survey. You can take a look at for yourself, and you're going to see that we're just right back to pre-pandemic levels as far as interest rates are concerned. So I think we're going to level out here. Hopefully in the next month, we will keep the wild card on reserve as far as how far we escalate in Eastern Europe, and see how the whole Ukraine war is going to shake out. So it will have an impact here locally. From a lending standpoint, from an interest rate environment standpoint. And, I think we'd be remiss if we don't talk about it here a little bit and rate the rates, how it will impact the listings and the buying side of things.
We have talked for years about it being a global economy. Mm-hmm. And yep. We've seen that more than ever during COVID, and we're seeing it so much more with this war than we have any other time. Is it going to affect the market? Absolutely. The most place that it's going to affect it, where it's going to have the biggest effect, is without a doubt the rates. And when rates go up, usually it means a little bit more of coming out of that seller's market, going a little bit more towards a buyer's market. Certainly, I don't expect it to be a buyer's market anytime soon. But will it get a little bit more even, a little bit more balanced? Yeah, it should. So
instead of a dozen deals or 20 offers on one house, we'll get maybe a handful, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. And we're starting to see that a little bit. It depends on the house. It really depends on the house. It depends on the property. It depends is always the answer in real estate. It really depends on the property. But that being said, yeah, I would expect it to be less multiple offers, and those that are jumping in the buying arena will actually have a bit of a chance sometime soon.
Yeah. So watch the rates for those of you that are looking to get into the market, get pre-approved, understand that the market does move. So there's really cool things out there. Like we just rolled out a lock and shop program. Ooh. So what that does is it allows you, the client, to come in today and say, hey, let's lock in that rate, right? I don't have a house picked out yet, but we can lock in that rate, and then we can move through the next 60 days to find a house. So you lock the rate, you shop for the next 60 days, and then you get under contract within that 60 days, and then that rate is locked in. Because if we look just back 60 days from today, we would be in the low 3s. So that would save you a whole point on interest rates. So Absolutely. It's definitely something to let us know how we can help you out there, and look for those types of products to help preserve against one of the highest fluctuating variables right now in the mortgage and real estate process, which is your interest rate. So yeah, there you have it. The rates going up.
Going up.
Yes.
And then
Ding.
up. And then
Stop that.
But remember, everybody, it's rough compared to last year or the year before, but
we were just super spoiled.
We were so
Let's
spoiled.
be honest. We were horribly spoiled to have historically low, like trough, the bottom of the barrel interest rate environment.
Absolutely.
Ever. One other thing to close out Rate the Rates.
Yeah.
This may not be a very popular topic, but look at adjustable rate mortgages, guys. Yeah, everybody does that because they remember the early 2000s leading up to the mortgage bubble. But what happened back then is very different than what's happening today. What happened back then, people that were no way, shape, or form qualified for a house were getting a house and being put into a house and they couldn't qualify for it. That's not what's happening today. Trust me.
So what's happening today that adjustable rate mortgages?
So adjustable rate mortgages are still being underwritten to the full extent of income, assets, and credit, right? Yeah. So there's integrity in the underwrite. But I was just talking to a gentleman the other day. He's coming here. He's on a 3-year contract.
Oh.
So I was like, you should grab an adjustable rate mortgage. Yep. It's locked up for 7 years. That rate is not going to move for 7 years. FYI, the average American holds onto their mortgage for 6 to 8 years. They're either going to sell the house, they're going to refinance the house. That's as long as a mortgage is on the books for right now, average. So why I say this is the interest rate environment is substantially different than the fixed rate environment. When rates are really low, that 30-year fix made sense. Right now, there's a fairly sizable spread, especially in the jumbo market, that if you're in the jumbo market in King County, that's over $891,000, right? If you're in that market, you should definitely be looking at and comparing and contrasting a 30-year fixed with an adjustable rate mortgage.